Ladies and gentlemen, if I asked you to change your life in the next 5 years, you might feel overwhelmed. If I asked you to change it in the next 5 days, you might feel pressured. But if I asked you to dedicate the next 3 months, just 90 days, to serious, disciplined, focused effort, that becomes believable. And believable goals are powerful goals. Let me share something simple but life-changing. Your future does not change in years. It changes in days, and when you control enough days in a row, you control your destiny. A 3-month success plan is not about wishing. It is not about hoping. It is about deciding. First, you must decide that the next 90 days matter. Most people drift through a quarter of the year without intention. They wake up, go through routine, react to problems, and repeat. But champions do something different. They pick a season and say, for the next 90 days, I will live differently. Not forever. Just for this season. You can endure discomfort for 90 days. You can push yourself for 90 days. You can stay focused for 90 days. The key is intensity with direction. Step 1 in your 3-month success plan is clarity. What do you want to improve? Your income, your health, your mindset, your skills, your relationships. You cannot improve everything at once. That's not discipline, that's confusion. Pick 1 or 2 areas that, if improved, would make the biggest difference in your life. Ask yourself, if I don't change this area now, where will I be 1 year from today? That question creates urgency. Step 2 is measurable targets. Don't say, I want to get better. That's vague. Vague goals produce vague results. Instead say, in the next 90 days, I will lose 10 pounds. In the next 90 days, I will read 4 books. In the next 90 days, I will increase my income by 20%. In the next 90 days, I will practice my craft 1 hour per day. Numbers bring clarity. Clarity brings power. Now break those 90 days into 3 30-day phases. The first 30 days are about building momentum. You are breaking old habits and installing new ones. This will be the hardest part because your old life will try to pull you back. The second 30 days are about strengthening discipline. Now the excitement has faded and structure must take over. This is where character is built. The final 30 days are about finishing strong. Most people slow down near the end. Successful people accelerate. They push harder when others relax. That is how separation happens. Step 3 is redesigning your daily routine. Your life changes when your habits change. For the next 90 days, create a daily success formula. Time for learning, time for physical movement, time for planning, time for income, producing activity, time for reflection. Guard this schedule. Protect it like an appointment with your future. Don't negotiate with yourself every morning. Decide once and then follow through daily. Discipline is simply remembering what you want most. Step 4 is upgrading your philosophy. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development. If you want more on the outside, you must become more on the inside. In these 90 days, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Improve your communication. Improve your thinking. Improve your emotional control. Improve your attitude. Stop blaming circumstances. Circumstances do not determine direction. Decisions do. When you take responsibility, you gain power. When you blame, you give power away. Step 5 is weekly evaluation. Every 7 days, sit quietly and review your progress. Ask, what did I accomplish? Where did I fall short? What must I adjust? Do not judge yourself harshly. Judge yourself honestly. Success is not about being perfect for 90 days. It is about staying committed for 90 days. If you fail 1 day, don't fail 2. If you fall off track, get back on quickly. Recovery speed matters more than mistake avoidance. Let me tell you something important. 3 months of focused discipline can change your confidence forever. When you keep promises to yourself for 90 days, you begin to trust yourself again. When you wake up when you said you would wake up, when you complete what you said you would complete, when you follow through despite discomfort, you build self-respect. And self-respect is the foundation of success. Imagine the results: better health, stronger mindset, higher income, greater clarity, more confidence, not because of luck, not because of magic, but because of structured effort. Most people wait for motivation. Professionals rely on routine. Motivation gets you started. Commitment keeps you going. Discipline finishes the job. At the end of these 90 days, you may not have reached perfection, but you will have raised your standards. And once your standards rise, your life cannot remain the same. You will no longer tolerate excuses. You will no longer accept average effort. You will no longer settle for less than your potential, because you proved something to yourself. You proved that change is possible. You proved that growth is intentional. You proved that discipline works. Your life does not change by accident. It changes by design. So design the next 3 months carefully. Choose your focus. Set your targets. Control your schedule. Upgrade your mindset. Evaluate weekly. Finish strong. 90 days from now, you will either have progress or excuses. The choice begins today. Transform your life not someday, not next year, but in the next 3 months. If you truly want to transform your life in the next 90 days, everything begins with clarity. Not hope, not excitement, not even determination. It begins with clarity. You see, most people are not failing because they lack potential. They are failing because they lack direction. And if you don't know exactly what you're aiming for, you'll hit something, but it won't be what you want. Clarity is powerful because it eliminates confusion. When you are confused, you hesitate. When you hesitate, you delay. And when you delay long enough, you drift. Life does not stand still. If you are not moving forward with intention, you are sliding backward by default. So the first step in your 3-month success plan is to decide exactly what must change. Not what would be nice. Not what sounds impressive to other people. What truly matters to you? Maybe it's your health. Perhaps you're tired of feeling sluggish, tired of looking in the mirror and being disappointed. Maybe it's your finances. You're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Or perhaps it's your confidence. You've broken too many promises to yourself, and now your self-belief is weak. Whatever it is, choose it. Decide it. Write it down. Because until it's defined, it's just a vague desire. And vague desires rarely produce powerful results. You cannot transform everything at once. That's a mistake many people make. They get inspired and they want to change their body, their business, their relationships, their habits, their mindset, all at the same time. That kind of ambition feels exciting, but it spreads your energy too thin. Concentration is the secret of power. If you focus your energy on 1 or 2 key areas for 90 days, you'll see real progress. And progress builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum. Momentum builds results. Ask yourself a serious question. If I could improve just one area of my life in the next 3 months that would make everything else better, what would it be? That question requires honesty. Honesty with yourself is one of the rarest qualities in the world. It's easy to pretend. It's easy to justify. It's easy to blame. But transformation demands truth. If your income is low, perhaps your skills are low. If your energy is low, perhaps your habits are poor. If your relationships are strained, perhaps your communication needs work. Clarity requires responsibility. And responsibility gives you power. Once you've identified the area that must change, the next step is to turn that desire into a measurable target. Don't say, I want better health. That's not clear enough. Say, in the next 90 days, I will lose 8 kilograms. Don't say, I want more money. Say, in the next 90 days, I will increase my income by 15%. Don't say, I want to grow. Say, I will read 3 books and complete 1 new course. Numbers create focus. Numbers create urgency. Numbers tell you whether you are winning or losing. A goal without measurement is merely a wish. And wishes belong in fairy tales, not in serious life planning. Now, here's something important. Your goal must be meaningful enough to inspire you, but realistic enough to believe in. If you don't believe you can do it, you won't commit to it. And commitment is everything. Belief grows when the goal stretches you, but doesn't break you. And remember, this clarity also means knowing why. Why must this change? If your reason is weak, your discipline will be weak. If your reason is powerful, your discipline will rise to match it. Maybe you want better health so you can have more energy for your family. Maybe you want higher income so you can create security and freedom. Maybe you want stronger confidence so you can lead, speak, and build without fear. Tie your goal to something emotional. When the alarm rings early in the morning and you don't feel like getting up, it won't be logic that moves you. It will be purpose. Clarity of purpose turns inconvenience into investment. And let me give you another important principle. Once you decide, stop negotiating. Indecision drains energy. When you constantly reconsider your goals, you weaken your resolve. Decide once and then act daily. The 90-day window is powerful because it creates urgency without overwhelm. It's not forever. It's a season. You are committing to a season of growth. Anyone can drift for 90 days. But very few people can stay intentional for 90 days. That's why clarity separates the average from the exceptional. When you wake up with clarity, you don't waste time. You don't scroll aimlessly. You don't say yes to distractions that steal your focus. You measure your actions against your goal. You ask yourself daily, is this moving me forward? Clarity simplifies decisions. It sharpens priorities. It gives your day structure. Without clarity, you react to life. With clarity, you design it. And here's the beautiful part. Once you become clear in one area and see results, you begin to trust yourself again. You begin to say, if I can change this, maybe I can change more. That's how transformation begins, not with giant leaps, but with focused intention. 3 months from now, you will either have progress or excuses. The difference will not be luck. It will not be opportunity. It will be clarity. Because when you know exactly what you want, why you want it, and what it requires, you become dangerous in the best possible way. You become focused. You become disciplined. You become intentional. And when intention meets daily action for 90 days, transformation is no longer a possibility, it becomes a result. If clarity tells you where you are going, discipline is what takes you there. You can have the best goals in the world, the clearest vision, the strongest reasons. But without daily discipline, nothing changes. Dreams without structure remain dreams. Ambition without routine fades. Intention without action dissolves. Your life does not change in a year, it changes in a day. And when you manage enough good days in a row, you create a powerful year. That is why structured daily discipline is the backbone of any 90-day success plan. Let me tell you something simple but life-altering. Success is not dramatic. It is scheduled. Most people wait until they feel motivated, but motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Discipline is a decision. And once you decide, you don't need to negotiate with yourself every morning. For the next 90 days, your job is not to feel inspired. Your job is to follow the plan. You must design a daily routine that supports your goal. If your goal is improved health, then your day must include movement and better nutrition. If your goal is increased income, your day must include income-producing activity. If your goal is personal growth, your day must include learning and reflection. Don't leave transformation to chance. Put it on your calendar. Here's what structured discipline looks like. You wake up at a set time, not when you feel like it. You review your goals, even if you think you remember them. You move your body, even if it's uncomfortable. You read and study, even if you're tired. You complete your key task for the day before distractions take over. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting, but it works. The challenge with discipline is not that it's difficult. It's that it's repetitive, and repetition can feel boring. But boring done consistently beats exciting done occasionally. Think about this. If you improve just one small habit each day for 90 days, how different would you be? Small improvements consistently applied create massive transformation. If you read just 20 pages a day, that's over 800 pages in 90 days. That's several books. If you exercise 30 minutes a day, that's 45 hours invested in your health. If you practiced your craft 1 hour a day, that's 90 focused hours, enough to significantly raise your skill level. The power is not in intensity once in a while. The power is in consistency daily. Now here's something important. Structure protects you from yourself. Your emotions will try to talk you out of discipline. You're tired. You deserve a break. You can skip today. That voice will whisper to you. And if you listen too often, you weaken your self-trust. Every time you break a promise to yourself, your confidence shrinks. Every time you keep one, your confidence grows. That's why discipline is not just about results. It's about identity. When you follow your structured routine for 90 days, you begin to see yourself differently. You are no longer someone who trees. You become someone who executes, and execution builds belief. Structure also reduces decision fatigue. If you wake up each day deciding whether or not to work out, whether or not to read, whether or not to work on your goal, you waste mental energy. But if it's already decided, if it's simply what you do, you conserve energy for performance. High achievers simplify their lives around their priorities. They eliminate unnecessary choices. They protect their productive hours. For the next 3 months, treat your routine like a sacred appointment, not with your boss, not with a client, with your future. You wouldn't casually cancel an important business meeting, so don't casually cancel your growth. And remember this: discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. The discomfort of waking up early is small. The discomfort of exercise is temporary. The discomfort of study is manageable. But the regret of staying the same year after year, that is heavy. The purpose of structure is to make progress automatic. Create a morning ritual that sets the tone. Create a work block where you focus deeply without distraction. Create an evening review where you measure your effort. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. You will miss a day. You will feel tired. You will face unexpected challenges. But the key is this: never miss twice. If you break routine one day, return the next. The speed of your recovery determines the speed of your growth. And here's the truth about discipline. At first, it feels like restriction. Later, it feels like freedom. When you are disciplined with your time, you gain control. When you are disciplined with your money, you gain options. When you are disciplined with your health, you gain energy. When you are disciplined with your learning, you gain opportunity. Freedom is not the absence of structure. It is the reward of structure. For 90 days, tighten your schedule, reduce distractions, limit unnecessary entertainment, guard your focus. You don't have to eliminate joy. You just have to eliminate waste. Because wasted days turn into wasted months, and wasted months turn into wasted years. Structured daily discipline is how you separate intention from accomplishment. Anyone can set a goal. Few can follow a schedule. But if you commit, truly commit, to executing your routine for 90 days, something remarkable will happen. The habits that once felt forced will begin to feel natural. The discipline that once felt difficult will begin to feel normal. And when discipline becomes your standard, success becomes your byproduct. You won't need constant motivation. You won't need external pressure. You will have built internal control. That is power. And 3 months of structured discipline can give you that power for a lifetime. Not because the 90 days are magical, but because you finally decided to live by design instead of by default. Follow the structure. Trust the process. Execute daily. And let discipline transform you from the inside out. If you truly want your next 90 days to transform your life, then you must understand something fundamental. Your results rarely exceed your level of personal development. You can work hard at your job. You can put in long hours. You can stay busy. But if you are not growing as a person, your income, your influence, and your impact will eventually hit a ceiling. Success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by the person you become. That is why the third key to a powerful 3-month success plan is personal development and responsibility. Let's start with responsibility. It is easy to blame the economy, easy to blame your boss, easy to blame your family background, easy to blame a lack of opportunity. And as long as you blame, you give away your power. Blame makes you a victim. Responsibility makes you a leader. When you say, this is my fault, this is my responsibility, this is my area to improve, something shifts inside you. You stop waiting, you start acting. Responsibility is not about guilt. It's about ownership. If your finances are not where they should be, take ownership. If your health has declined, take ownership. If your skills are outdated, take ownership. Ownership gives you control. You cannot change what you do not own. For the next 90 days, eliminate excuses from your vocabulary. No more. I don't have time. No more. It's too hard. No more. That's just the way things are. Instead, say, what can I do differently? That one question changes everything. Now let's talk about growth. If you want more, you must become more. If you want a higher income, increase your value. If you want stronger relationships, improve your communication. If you want greater confidence, keep promises to yourself. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner development. For 3 months, make personal growth a daily priority. Not occasionally, daily. Read books that stretch your thinking. Listen to ideas that challenge your assumptions. Study people who have achieved what you desire. Learn new skills that increase your market value. Your income is directly related to your philosophy, your skills, and your attitude. If you improve those 3 areas, your results cannot help but improve. Let's talk about mindset. Your mindset is the filter through which you interpret everything. 2 people can face the same difficulty. One sees defeat. The other sees opportunity. The difference is not circumstance. It is perspective. For the next 90 days, guard your mind carefully. Limit negative influences. Be selective about what you watch, what you listen to, and who you spend time with. You cannot feed your mind negativity and expect positive outcomes. Feed it growth. Feed it discipline. Feed it ambition. And remember this, your mind responds to what you repeatedly tell it. Stop saying, I'm bad with money. Stop saying, I'm not confident. Stop labeling yourself with weakness. Those words shape your identity. Instead say, I am learning. I am improving. I am becoming disciplined. Your language influences your belief. Your belief influences your behavior. Personal development also means improving your emotional control. Life will test you. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Markets will change. If your emotions control your decisions, your progress will suffer. Strong people are not those without emotion. They are those who manage emotion. For 90 days, practice responding instead of reacting. Pause before speaking. Think before deciding. Choose long-term gain over short-term comfort. Emotional maturity multiplies success. Now let me tell you something powerful. The marketplace rewards value, not effort, not intention. Value. If you want to earn more, become more valuable. Learn skills that are rare and useful. Improve your ability to solve problems. Strengthen your communication so you can influence effectively. Communication alone can double your opportunities. How you speak, how you listen, how you present ideas. These are skills, and skills can be developed. Spend the next 3 months sharpening your tools. Imagine a craftsman who never sharpens his blade. He works harder and harder, but the results diminish. That's how many people live. They work hard but never upgrade themselves. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because when you grow, everything connected to you grows. Your family benefits from your maturity. Your business benefits from your skill. Your community benefits from your leadership. And here's something important. Personal growth builds confidence. Confidence is not arrogance. It is earned self-trust. When you study daily, practice daily, improve daily, you begin to trust your ability to handle challenges. That trust makes you bold. It makes you decisive. It makes you resilient. For 90 days, invest in yourself as if you are your greatest asset. Because you are. You are the common denominator in all your results. Change your philosophy, and you change your choices. Change your choices and you change your direction. Personal development is not a luxury. It is a necessity. And responsibility is not a burden. It is a gift. When you accept responsibility, you accept the power to transform. 3 months of serious self-investment can elevate your standards permanently. You will no longer tolerate mediocrity from yourself. You will demand growth. You will expect progress. And once your standards rise, your life cannot remain the same. Because success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by the person you decide to become over the next 90 days. The final key to transforming your life in 90 days is simple, but it is rarely practiced. Evaluate and finish strong. Most people start with enthusiasm. They feel inspired. They write their goals. They buy the books. They rearrange their schedule. The first week feels powerful. The second week feels challenging. By the 3rd or 4th week, reality sets in. The excitement fades and the old habits begin calling their name. That is why evaluation is essential. What gets measured gets improved. If you do not stop and review your progress, you drift. You assume you are doing better than you are. Or worse, You become discouraged without seeing how far you have actually come. Every 7 days during your 90-day success plan, sit down with yourself. No distractions, no phone, no noise, just reflection. Ask yourself honest questions. What did I do well this week? Where did I fall short? What to strengthen me? Did my daily actions align with my goals? Honesty and evaluation is not about self-criticism. It is about self-correction. You cannot adjust what you refuse to examine. Weekly evaluation prevents small mistakes from becoming big failures. If you wait until day 90 to measure progress, it's too late to make meaningful adjustments. But if you check in every 7 days, you can refine your approach. Maybe you set a reading goal and realize you are consistently skipping evenings. Adjust your schedule. Maybe you plan to exercise in the morning but keep hitting the snooze button. Shift to afternoons. Flexibility and strategy is wisdom. Commitment to the goal must remain firm. Evaluation sharpens awareness. It forces you to see whether your effort matches your intention. Now here's something powerful: track your numbers. If your goal is financial, track income weekly. If your goal is fitness, track weight, workouts, or measurements. If your goal is skill development, track hours practiced. Numbers tell the truth. Feelings lie. You may feel productive, but the numbers will show you whether you were. This is not about pressure. It is about clarity. When you see progress, even small progress, it fuels motivation. When you see stagnation, it fuels correction. Both are valuable, but evaluation alone is not enough. The final piece is finishing strong. Anyone can start. Few people finish with intensity. The last 30 days of your 90-day plan are the most important. Why? Because that is where separation happens. Most people ease up near the end. They think, I've done enough. They relax. They coast. And coasting kills momentum. Winners accelerate. When you reach day 60, you should not slow down. You should tighten your focus. Review your goals. Increase your effort. Push with greater precision. Why? Because momentum compounds. If you finish strong, you don't just complete a 90-day plan. You build a new standard. Think about a race. The final stretch determines the outcome. The crowd is watching. The energy is high, and the strongest competitors dig deeper when others grow tired. Life works the same way. The final 30 days test your discipline. The novelty is gone. The routine feels ordinary. The results may not yet be dramatic. This is where character is revealed. Do you push forward or pull back? Finishing strong requires reminding yourself why you started. Revisit your reasons. Reconnect with your purpose. Look at how far you've come. Use that progress as proof that you are capable of more. And understand this, intensity does not mean burnout. It means focus. Reduce distractions even further in the final stretch. Protect your time. Guard your energy. Say no more often. Say yes only to what aligns with your goal. This is a season, not a lifetime. You are not sacrificing forever. You are concentrating effort for transformation. And let me tell you something important about finishing strong. It builds identity. When you know you are someone who completes what they start, your confidence changes. Confidence is not built by talking about goals. It is built by completing them. When day 90 arrives, and you look back knowing you stayed disciplined, adjusted when needed, and pushed hard to the end, something shifts inside you. You begin to trust yourself. And self-trust is priceless. It affects every future goal, every new challenge, every opportunity, because now you know you can execute. Evaluation also teaches humility. You will see areas where you miscalculated. You will discover weaknesses. That is not failure. That is growth. Self-awareness is one of the highest forms of intelligence. And finishing strong teaches resilience. It teaches you that temporary fatigue does not define you. It teaches you that consistency beats emotion. It teaches you that discipline can override discomfort. 3 months of this cycle, act daily, evaluate weekly, adjust strategically, finish powerfully, can transform not only your results, but your standards. Standards determine lifestyle. Once you experience what it feels like to complete a focused 90-day plan, average effort becomes uncomfortable. Laziness feels foreign. Excuses sound weak. You elevate your expectations of yourself. And when your standards rise, your life rises. Remember, this success is not built in giant leaps. It is built in daily steps, weekly corrections, and strong finishes. So every week measure, every month refine, and in the final stretch, accelerate. Do not drift into the finish line. Charge through it. Because when you learn to evaluate honestly and finish strong consistently, you don't just complete goals. You become the kind of person who achieves them.